Now we are going to be working on how to change desktop appearance. Talking about changing desktop appearance, you want to change the way your desktop looks. You want to change, maybe let's say this image. You want to change some settings about the image, the resolution. You want to make some adjustments on this desktop. What you do, you right click on it. You can use different options to have personalized. So let's work with personalized first. You click on the personalized. When you go to personalize, you allow it to load. Now you see your desktop appearance. It shows in this way. Now when it shows in this manner, simply this is the background. You can choose to make it a solid color, not a picture. You can choose to make a slideshow that the pictures will be changing. In this case, you see how the pictures will be changing because you made it a slideshow. But choosing a picture will give you the opportunity to make a choice of only a single picture. Now you can also change the color. Now peradventure the pictures you want to make use of is not anywhere here. What you can simply do is you can use the browse to go directly into any place where you saved your pictures. Probably let's say you go into pictures, you can choose any design of your choice you want, and let's say we are working with, okay, let me go with this. Once we choose it, it changes your distance, the picture, the display of your desktop. You can choose to come here, say I want it to fit. Anyway, as you're choosing it, is affecting the view of your desktop depending on how you choose to make it display. Let's say look at this one, then you can switches this pan, but I still want my settings of this default, so I will just make use of my default option, which is the fill. Now you can still come here and choose color scheme. Choose a color scheme. Here they say automatically pick an accent color from my background. This one is when you choose it, your background will determine the color that will follow up automatically. They will say show color on taskbar, on the start taskbar, and any color you choose here will also show on the start. So this is depending, you're seeing the settings already. If I remove it, it's not showing here, but if I click it, it's showing on the start. Everything is affected, but let's remove it back. Okay, like the taskbar is mainly affected. This is a taskbar, while my own is not showing, working according to the changes I'm making here, is because I'm working with a software, start menu software, not the default start button menu for my system. So but we can choose that we don't want it automatically, so we can just make our own choice. When you make your own choice, it affects everything you're doing. So that is just depending on the color scheme you want. Then what do you want as the display when your screen locks? Here you can choose different options also. You can choose a screensaver settings. Now when the screensaver settings comes up, you choose screensaver. If you need a screensaver, all these are the screensaver. You want a blank screensaver, a blank one will be there. One bubbles, then the bubbles will come. You want mystify, the Mystify will also show there. Then you want the photo gallery. It will also be showing the photos of your gallery. If you have a default, you have pictures in your gallery, you have photos, you choose, you have ribbons as well. You can alter the settings you want. There's a no option for this ribbon. Okay, let's just go for 3D. I can go here, say settings, choose what I want. I can make my tests, adjust. You can just walk over all these things, make your adjustment the way you want them to be. If you want to make a high resolution, you choose, but for me, I don't want to alter anything in my system for now, but you can still alter them. I'm going to save it. So this is just for lesson purposes. So for me, I don't like the stuff there. I click on apply and OK. Then another thing to check for how to maneuver with your work. What do I mean by that? For instance, you want to change the power settings. You can still use through this option here to change your power settings depending on the kind of settings you want to choose. But recommended, as recommended by the operating system, you should use balanced, so you can still adjust all the display of your system. So now that is for that. Then you have the themes. You can change the theme settings, make your themes, choose any theme you want. Which of the themes do I want? You make your choice. If you don't like the one you have currently, and mind you, anything you're making, changing, is affecting your screen, so you can easily choose from different ones. Yep, it's loading for you to see what it is changing the color scheme to. So but all these options, I don't need them. I can just go back to my default option. After loading, it will display it back to the one I chose for it. You can still get more online. You can still save some which you formulated. So depending on the option you want to use, what theme did I choose? Alright. What? All right. Can go to the start option. How do I want my start to appear? Use start full screen, show recently opened document, show most used app, show recently added apps. So anything, any one of the choice you can use. So these are the ways through which you can change your desktop settings. And another option there is if you want to change the display of your computer, which we indirectly went to. You can here now, this one here shows that we are making use of a single screen, but peradventure you are connecting to maybe your television using the HDMI cable, or you are connecting to make a projection using the projector. You can still work with this. When you come to this area, you can use the identify so that it will identify the number of screen available. Then if you have already connected your projector, for instance, you can use this one to dictate. It didn't dictate another display, but if it did, it will automatically show you what displayed. Now you can choose the way you want it to be displaying. Is it a landscape flipped? Is it normal landscape? Or is it portrait? And other options you choose. Then you can still go for advanced settings, where you can adjust the resolution of your screen. You can choose this minimum, or you can just go with the default, which is recommended depending on the screen, the size of the screen of your computer. So other options here, like snap, arrange windows automatically by dragging them to the sides or corner of the screen. Now these are options which you can easily walk through on your own and get details information on them. They are self-explanatory. You don't need to be running it over and over again to get to know what you want to do with it. So for now guys, this is how you can maneuver with a computer desktop appearance. Now there are other options you are supposed to take note of. These options are all these other ones you have seen. We've talked about the view options. This is normally for the software you're using, the kind of processor you're using, that will determine what will display here. Then we'll have, you can sort your icons. Let's say for instance, let me show the icons for instance. Let it come up. Now that is up, you can show how you want to arrange it by name. It's keep changing by size. It keep changing by item type or by date modified. It will adjust it. Refreshing is when your screen is busy, when your desktop is busy. You can use the refresh to make it less busy. Then we'll have paste. The paste is only active when you copy something. And let's take for instance, let's say I copied this copy, it will now be active. Paste shortcut, if you don't want it to be paste as the normal work, you paste it as a shortcut. Undo is when we want to undo any action we did, like what we did now was copy, so we can undo it. Then the new option, we can use the new option here to create a new folder, a shortcut, just like in this we created directories, but in Windows it is called folders. So any folders you create in another folder is called a subfolder. You understand? Just like we have that of subdirectory in DOS. Now, if once you choose new, these options comes out. for other applications depending on what you want to do. In case you don't want to open these applications from the start button, you can as well add them through this means and get them active to work around with. So now these are the options we have for you to take note of them. If you want to rename a desktop icon, it is as simple as that also. What you can do is just, when we have the desktop icons displayed, just right click on the desktop icon you want, choose rename, and you're able to write a name. Let's take, for instance, let me just choose something I want to change the name. I will say rename. You can just call it load. You press the return key and it will come back to normal. So these are the ways, this is the way you can change the name of an icon by renaming it.